Hi, Rob Mackay, Pacific International Music Studios in Hervey Bay. Welcome to my humble studio. Mac and I will be taking you for a bit of a tour around and we'll get to see what's going on here. I think each producer and engineer have their own favourites. My general purpose mic for vocals mainly is a Neumann U87, pad mounted, great all round microphone. I'll use that on acoustic guitars, but then I'll use Shure NT55, which tends to pick up the top ends really nice little condenser microphone like you're using. And it's really, I don't know, you've got your good old SM57s, which are great for guitar amps and drums and so forth, but really, as I've read in so many geeky recording magazines, if it sounds good, that's all that really matters. And a lot of that is obviously due to the environment that you're recording in. You're recording the room sound. We'll go in and have a look at the booth shortly, but that's not designed to be soundproof and not designed to be dead, but designed to get a good sound so that you don't get too much room in there and you can actually record what you're doing, be it drums, vocal takes, acoustic guitars, mandolins or whatever. So we should go in there and have a look. Oh shit, drummer. This is our Neumann U87. Got a pop filter on the front of it. This is my all-purpose mic. I've got similar ones to these. I've got an SE. This one just seems to be my favourite. Most vocalists I use sound terrific through it. It's also really good for recording mandolins and guitars. I mentioned before I might use a NT55 in conjunction with that just to pick up some extra top end. But yeah, it's a really good mic and I love it. We're in the recording booth, basically a fairly dead room, not completely dead. Sound baffling here on most of the walls. This is actually a partition board in case I want to close the room in a little bit, but I don't use it that much. This is a pretty good room all round. So yeah, basically sound baffling. Even the cupboard over there, we've actually got that full of foam. Even though the doors are closed there, that's all part of the equation. It's very interesting when you get a qualified sound engineer in here. He walks around going, and you'll hear the difference. You'll hear certain frequencies that are, I don't know, bothering him. And so we just put more baffling here. We put some carpet on the floor there, and it keeps going round until such time as to his ears, the room's as good as it's going to be. In a perfect world, we've got parallel walls here. That is not perfect. But the room was such that we really weren't in a position to get walls that weren't parallel. That is ideal if you're building something from scratch or you happen to have a room built by an average builder where the walls aren't parallel. That works a lot better. In the case where you've got parallel walls, lots of baffling to quieten it. Quieten sound frequencies bouncing back and forth, which is what they do. And other than that, really, does it sound good? The bottom line is, if you record something, maybe you want to import that into your iTunes library and compare that with some professionally recorded audio. And if we call that an A/B, if it's sounding close to that, that's fine. Your recording might sound fine until you put it up with a control sample like that. So that's probably a good way to check what you're doing. The mics that we're using are primarily Shure mics. 57s we use on the toms. There's a Shure kick drum mic down there in the bass drum. I mentioned the NT55's very good for cymbals. Pick up a lot of top end. I use them for acoustic guitars as well. I've got a Rode NT3 on the snare. These little PDAs this little PDA on the hi-hat, but the NT55s work pretty well on that as well. When you run a recording studio, you need the right equipment. This is the useless box.